Okay. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining the City of Kingston's Historic Landmarks Preservation Commission at our monthly meeting. Today is January 7th, 2021. My name is Suzanne Cahill, Planning Director and Organizer for our virtual meeting. Happy New Year to everyone. Before we begin our meeting, I'd like to go over a few meeting guidelines to help navigate this system as efficiently and respectfully as possible. We ask that members of the public and press remain muted and off camera for the length of the meeting. As the organizer, I reserve the right to mute anyone who unmutes themselves. Commission members and city staff will control their own mute button. Good practice would be to mute yourself if you are not speaking to avoid background noise and feedback. If a commissioner or staff wishes to speak, they will raise their hand. The chairperson will call on them before they speak by stating their name clearly for our audio listeners and transcript recording. All of our meetings are recorded. Both video and written transcriptions will be made available to the public on the city's website at a later date. In lieu of public speaking during the monthly meeting, we requested all comments to be received by 2 p.m. on Tuesday, January 5th, 2021. No comment has been received. All meeting materials, applications, supporting documentation, written comments may be found on the city website by going to www.kingston-ny.gov, and on the homepage, scroll down to the bottom under meetings where you see Historic Landmarks Preservation Commission listed. Click the link for the agenda and you will find a universal hyperlink for all information. If at any time you have an audio issue, send a text message to the following number, 845-443-0416. I will repeat this number again, but be aware that phone calls will not be answered during the meeting. The number to text is 845-443-0416. As the organizer for today's meeting, I reserve the right to lock and pause the meeting, to eject anyone who has behaved inappropriately, or to enter into attorney-client conference if needed. The Commission wishes to thank you for your continued patience during this unusual and difficult time. On their behalf, we wish you and your family good health, and I now turn the floor over to Chairman Mark Gumblatt to call the meeting officially to order at 6:32 p.m. Mark.
Hello, all. I think our first order of business is the approval of last month's minutes. Has everyone had a chance to review them? All right, then I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
Hayes Clement, so moved.
Thank you, Hayes. Do I have a second?
Robert Connor, second.
Thank you, Robert. I will call the roll on approval of minutes. All right, Kevin McAvoy.
Aye.
Hayes Clement.
Aye.
Andrea Putz.
Aye.
Peter DeMuth.
Aye.
And Robert.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. I also vote in the affirmative. All right. I believe our first order of business is the Wall Street application. I'm guessing that would be the Monsignor.
Yes. Monsignor?
Yes, I'm here with Phil Sinaga also. And again, just a background, we had 8 people fall in 12 weeks on our front steps. Again, the building is 200 years old. The steps are uneven and they're up to 9 and 9.5 inches high and not very wide. So instead of coming out into Main Street to make normal steps, came up with the idea to make a plaza in front of the 3 doors. And then the whole exit would be off to the right, where we have more room. On the left-hand side, going out of the church, is the bell tower. So what we really want to do is make normal side steps no higher than 7 inches and allow them to be at least 30 inches wide, so a person with a walker could come on each step. So that was our idea, and that is the plan. So basically, people said that we'd have to remove everything that's there right now and put in a plaza with the railing around it. And we also spoke to all the undertakers to make sure that they could come up the plaza and turn the casket into the doors of the church. So that's what dictates, if you will, the dimensions of the plaza. So we are coming out, I would say, I think it's about 2 foot further than the bottom step is right now onto the sidewalk on Main Street. But then everybody, there'll be a wrought iron railing there, and everybody will be exiting the plaza from, if you will, the post office side, because that's where we have more room. So again, that's just the background of what we want to do, just to make it safe and so that people can come in. Right now, after all those people falling, I closed those doors off completely, but except for funerals where we need to use it for the bring in the casket.
Thank you, Monsignor. Has everyone had a chance to review the plans that have been submitted? And Robert, you have a question?
Yeah, Mark, I wasn't able to review them. The link didn't work and a number of things, but I wasn't able to review it.
So do you in particular have any questions for the applicant?
No, I think it's a good thing that we don't want people to fall. I think that's good.
All right. Any, yes, Hayes?
Just so I understand it, so as you look at the building, henceforth with this change, there's going to be a wrought iron railing across the entire front where you would have seen the stairs.
Yes, correct, yes.
And then it's
Except at the very last door, the third door, the
Or the
steps
post
will
office.
start going down on the post office side. Right at the end of that door, the steps will start going down 7 inches, but 30 inches wide.
But that's going to be, there's still going to be a wall and the wrought iron railing in
Yes,
front.
yeah.
Okay.
And
So-
what we propose, we gave you that the wall is of a brick that is as close as possible that we could make it to the bottom brick of the church, if you will. There's a gray brick on the bottom of the church before the fancy brick is there. So we designed it so that that would be as close as possible to that.
It's gonna match the foundation.
Yes.
Who's fabricating the wrought iron rail? That seems to be a pretty critical part of it too.
Going to be by full fittings out of Gardner.
But it's
And
going to be sort of a custom thing, not just off the rack.
it'll be custom and it will match as close as they possibly can to what you see in front of the church.
Sorry, we're
right
having
now.
trouble hearing you. Could you start again? Is this Mr. Sinagra?
Yes. Okay, it's full fittings out of Gardner, New York. And what we're going to do is have them fabricate as close as possible of what we have right now in front of the church. He seems to think that he can match that, exactly the wrought iron that we have now. And that will be basically the fencing along the edge. As Monsignor said, the front, the facing, we were able to get really concrete blocks that matches the foundation very, very well. And when you're coming down the steps, after we get the new steps in, you will be able to see the foundation type gray that we have, and the front of it will be as close as we possibly can get to what we have right now.
And
And again, the railing presently is just a straight down, if you will. This will be all the way across.
right.
But if you look closely at it, it looks like the person that did the railing the last time also did the very fancy hinges on the door. And that's what we want to try to recapture, that it has the same type of design.
And this is going to be cheaper than just recreating steps all the way across. And for whatever reason, it's going to, because of the tread links and stuff, it's going to be less of a fall hazard.
Yes, yeah. Right now, if we want to do what I said about 7-inch steps with a 30-inch wide step, so you could come down with a walker, we would be going well into Main Street.
Got it. I understand.
I mean, ideally, that would be the easiest way to do it, but we'd be taking up all of that space in front of Main Street, the sidewalk.
I get it. I have no issue.
And just so you also know, there would be no way that we would be able to use the steps that are there today because they're all flaking
Right.
pretty bad.
I'm good with it.
Any other questions or comments from board members?
So basically, you're just putting steps on the left-hand side where they were in the front, and
Yes,
you're
that's
making them
correct.
longer.
Yes.
Is there, I mean, just in terms of like fall issues, have you considered a ramp at all?
Have a ramp on the Wall Street entrance so that there is not room enough there for a ramp, but we do have a ramp entrance into the church on Wall Street.
Andrea, you had a question?
I did. Just based on the math, have you guys just double checked that you only need 2 or 4 or 3, somewhere between 2 and 4 risers to get up to your landing? Because right now, I think you were saying that you had somewhere between 9.5, 9-inch risers. I just want to make sure that, you know, we're accounting for the applicable number of risers that you're going to need to actually get up to this landing.
Basically, the top step right now is 36 inches off the sidewalk level. Okay. And that includes the step that right is at the door. So there's a platform in front, but that step itself is 9 inches. Okay. So that's why we did have to have that amount of space on that left-hand side, if you will. Whereas the right-hand side, I'd love to have been put a ramp on the right-hand side, but again, the bell tower comes out there, so you can't do that.
Is the building department's okay with it from a safety perspective on the amount of egress?
Yes. Yeah, we have, if you look at our church, we have, besides those 3 doors, there's another door that we're presently using on Main Street. And then there's 2 doors on Wall Street side. And then there's also a door on the parking lot side, if you will, also back there. So again, they basically, when there was a balcony in the church, there was a staircase for exits for both of those. So again, from the back of the church, and we also have an exit through the bell tower too. So it's, again, we have an awful lot of exits, if you will.
Right. Any other questions? Kevin? I thought I saw a hand, but I'm wrong.
No, not
Oh.
me, no. No, I'm just looking at photographs of the,
Okay.
conceptualize the drawings, that's all.
All right. Then the first order of business is declaration under the State Environmental Quality Review Act. I will entertain a motion to declare this a type 2 action under seeker. Would someone like to move?
Hayes,
Thank
Clement.
you, Hayes. And I need a second.
Andrea Pute, second.
Thank you, Andrea. I'll call the roll. Andrea?
Aye.
Aye.
Kevin?
Aye.
Hayes?
Aye.
Robert? Oops, you're muted, Robert.
Aye.
Thank you, Robert. I also vote in the affirmative. All right, moving on. I move that the commissioners present find as fact that the proposed replacement of the entrance steps at 242 Wall Street in the Stockade Historic District by applicant Philip J. Sinatra Sr., trustee of St. Joseph's Church, and owners represented by Monsignor Desmond O'Connor, pastor, if done according to the plans reviewed at this meeting and according to the procedures stipulated in section 405-64 of the City of Kingston's Administrative Code, is compatible with the historic character of the building and the district for the following reasons. That the proposed work is to take place at St. Joseph's Roman Catholic Church, a large brick building on the southeast corner of Wall and Main Streets, which according to William B. Rhodes, Kingston, New York, was built in 1832 and 33 as the Reformed Protestant Dutch church by Albany architect Henry Rector in essentially a Greek revival style, having been abandoned by the Dutch Reformed congregation in the 1850s, once the larger Dutch Reformed church was built across Main Street, and having served as an armory during the Civil War in the 1860s. Then serving as a church once more by the 1880s, having received Romanesque alterations, including the extension at rear by architect J.A. Wood and a new facade in 1898 by architect William J. Beardsley, when Gothic revival arches and a low corner tower were added. That the proposed work will involve the replacement of the main entrance, where failing steps have failed, with the installation of a new stoop made up of a succession of pavers, 35 inches wide by 10 inches long, directing foot traffic to the right rather than straight out of the church toward 8 foot wide by 3 foot long bluestone steps with 7-inch risers surrounded by a 20-inch high concrete block wall with fascia matching the church's stone foundation at the perimeter, capped with bluestone and a wrought iron railing matching the existing ornate railing above. That this work will cause a material change to the external appearance of the property, that the new entrance steps will not detract from the character of the historic district or the building, that any changes or additions to the plans or work specifically described and outlined in the submitted application will be subject to further review by our commission prior to additional work being carried out, that this commission's approval does not obviate the need for a building permit from the City of Kingston's Building Safety Division or any other required approvals from relevant coordinating agencies. Based on the preceding findings of fact, I move that on this 7th day of January 2021, that this commission grant a preservation notice of action to the above referenced applicant for the work as described herein and in its application to the commission, such notice to be subject to the conditions contained in the foregoing motion. Do I have a second? Thank you, Hayes, for the second. Sue, does Hayes need to unmute and say so?
Hayes Clement, second.
Thank you, Hayes. All right, I will call the roll. Andrea?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Kevin?
Aye.
Hayes?
Aye.
Robert?
Aye.
I also vote in the affirmative. All right. Thank you, Monsignor. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you very
Sinatra.
much, and Happy New Year to all also.
Thank you to you. All right.
Happy New Year.
Thank you very much.
Very welcome. All right. Our next item on the agenda, hi, Josie. You're on for 55 North Front Street.
I don't know how to do it. Am I on there?
Yeah.
Yep, you're on.
Okay.
You've
I'm trying to make
unmuted.
it happen, but I don't know if that. Oh wait, here we go. Am I there?
You're there.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Hello.
All right. Has everyone on the commission had a chance to look over the proposal?
Mark?
Okay, Robert?
Yeah, again, I couldn't. Is there any way to, can we put up a picture of what you're planning? Can we do that?
Do you have,
I think we've got that available. Can you hang
Yeah, I
on
couldn't
just a
open the
second?
links for some reason. I don't know. It's me, the computer, I don't know. I couldn't open the links.
You're making me feel so much better.
Mark, you're younger than I am.
Oh, I'm not so sure. We'll figure that out someday.
Billy, can you share the screen?
I cannot share the screen.
This is all making me feel
I have only
I'm
done.
on my computer, so I can't share.
Hold on.
I can also. I've done it once, and I can try to do that again.
So sorry.
I can also just hold it up on my phone and show you what what it looks like.
Yeah, that would work.
When all else fails.
So let me make it as big as I can. Oh, it's not going
Might
to
have to
do
make you a co-host
that.
to share.
Can you see that?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
See clearly. Yes.
Is that good enough?
Yeah, that's fine for me.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
And the signs are going to be under the canopy and in front, I'm presuming. Are
Correct.
there any additional signs?
No, I mean, I just kind of took my cue from the rest of the businesses on that little strip, and most of them have it for the people walking underneath the canopy and facing out toward the street. And then I made, I have windows there that I will have something in, but like not a sign or anything like that. So those would be my main signs.
There
Sorry, I can hear you. Okay.
any other questions from the board for the applicant?
Looks nice.
All right, then first order of business is the State Environmental Quality Review Act. I'll entertain a motion that we declare this as a type 2 action under seeker. Who'd like to move?
Motion, Kevin.
You, Kevin. Second
Second.
from Hayes.
Yep, second from me.
Thank you kindly. All right, I'll call the roll on that. Andrea?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Kevin?
Aye.
Hayes?
Aye.
Robert?
Aye.
I also vote in the affirmative. Okay. I hereby move that the commissioners present find as fact that the proposed signage at 55 North Front Street in the Stockade Historic District by applicant Josephine Ariol and owner Ali Hamoud, if done according to the plans reviewed at this meeting and according to the procedures stipulated in section 405-64 of the City of Kingston's Administrative Code, is compatible with the historic character of the building and the district for the following reasons. That the proposed signage will involve 2 double-sided overhanging signs, 20 inches high by 40 inches wide by 1 inch thick, wooden boards mounted to chains with the word "hoard" in a sans serif font above a cheese knife graphic etched into the surface. That this work will cause a material change to the external appearance of the property, that the signage will not detract from the character of the historic district or the building, that any changes or additions to the plans or signage specifically described and outlined in the submitted application will be subject to further review by our commission prior to the work being carried out. That this commission's approval does not obviate the need for a building permit from the City of Kingston's Building Safety Division or any other required approvals from relevant coordinating agencies. Based on the preceding findings of fact, it is proposed that we resolve on this 7th day of January 2021 that this commission grant a preservation notice of action to the above referenced applicant for the work as described herein and in its application to our commission, such notice to be subject to the conditions obtained in our foregoing motion and to the applicant obtaining insurance, naming the city as an additional insured in respect to the overhang as per section 358-9 of the city's code, projections and obstructions. Do I have a second? Thank you, Robert. All right, I will call the roll. Andrea?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Kevin?
Aye.
Hayes?
Aye.
Robert?
Aye.
I also vote in the affirmative. All right. I think that concludes applications today. Josie, pleasure to see you. Greetings home.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you all. Thank you so much.
You're most
luck.
welcome and congratulations.
Thank you.
All righty, bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
All right, I think Dan has already provided that we're not going to be dealing with the proposed zoning amendment until language can get changed. Is there any other business to be brought before the commission?
I don't know, Dan, can you hear us? Do you want us to formally table this item then? Because it is on the agenda?
I don't think it really makes a difference. You certainly can. Technically, because there is no formal language that was forwarded to you yet, it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
All right, then if there is nothing else to come before the commission, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Ace Clement, so moved.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Kevin. All right. I will call the roll. Andrea,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Kevin,
Aye.
Hayes,
Aye.
Robert,
Aye.
and I concur. We are adjourned by acclamation.
Thank you. I don't know if anybody else thought this, but I think the Zoom functions much nicer than the GoToMeeting.
Oh,
The
Very
audio
much so.
Yeah.
works
Agreed.
perfectly.
vastly
No
superior.
glitches.
Worked
Yay.
well.
Can the
Yeah.
people that can't open the agenda links please hang out so I could talk to you guys?
All right.